How's it going, everyone? Bob here, KD4BMG YouTuber HOA Ham. No discussions today about stealth antennas hiding in plain sight at the HOA, but rather my eBay purchase of an FT-101EE. In my introductory video on the subject, I mentioned that there's a bit of nostalgia for me on this type of radio. I don't remember how old I was when my next door neighbor turned this on and spun the dial and just intrigued me. From a little boy on, I was always interested in this, and I don't think I really knew just how much so until, as an adult much later in life, I actually got my ticket punched and became an amateur radio operator. Before I made this purchase, I did do some investigation. I looked for corporations, companies, individuals who specialized in restoration and repair, and I settled on Paul Whiskey for United Sierra. Paul's going to interact with us throughout these videos. I'm going to make the assumption that this radio isn't sufficiently damaged that I won't be able to afford to go forward with a restoration or repair, and I'm just going to share it with you. It's definitely going to be a different format than I normally do on my channel. We're going to put Paul on the screen right next to me here. He does all of his videos, I presume, on an iPhone, an Android, a smartphone, and he's in vertical orientation. This is just what he does. When he does this work in his spare time, he has a full-time job. This is what he does for fun, I suppose, kind of like I do my YouTube channel. Maybe it's work for him, but it's something that is in a field that he enjoys. I'm making assumptions. I don't know Paul personally. It's what I've gathered from the internet of his skill in restoring radios, and that's why I reached out to him and he took on my project. Let's bring him up on the screen. Believe it or not, we're going to do an unboxing. So, take it away, Paul.
I want you to see what I'm doing. Bear with me because I'm not a video guy. I'm not a camera guy like you are. I'm a radio guy.
Okay, now right there, that makes me happy. I don't want a video guy. I'll take care of the video. I want a radio guy. When I first flipped the switches on this, obviously I didn't really know what I was doing. This is complex to me compared to what I have been used to working with. I wanted someone who specializes in this, and I think that's what I have found with Paul.
And so all my videos and everything I do are on Facebook on Instant Message. So good, yep. You got the original box, which I love. I love the outer box. I love the fact that it's all the outer box. So you got a nice radio here. And the fact that you got both boxes.
So let me tell you what I think the thought is here. When he says two boxes, there's an inner box that has the two foam inserts that's holding that radio. And then there's a second Yaesu box. So there's an inner Yaesu box and outer Yaesu box. And then I packaged it up in a U-Haul shipping box. And the thought here would be, you know, if this radio was manufactured sometime in the early to middle 70s, and hopefully we find that out soon, are you kidding me? This box is 50 years old. Somebody has taken enough care to maintain the packaging in good enough condition that I could use it to put the radio in and ship it. So the thought would be, if someone took that much care in the packaging, perhaps they took that much care in the radio as well.
Which means a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the radio out. I'm going to have to set the phone down. I'm working by myself. I'm going to set the phone down and pull the radio out, and I love the fact that you did double box it, so that way it doesn't mess up the original Yaesu box, because you can't get them anymore. A lot of people still have, like me, I have this box, but I don't have the outer box, and I have mine that I purchased when I was a young man, so the original radio. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out, so bear with me just a minute while I get this out.
All right, so he's going to pull this out, and next thing you know, we'll see it with foam packaging. I've never met Paul again, and I don't really see him in the pictures very much. I don't know how large of a man he is. You'll see him struggle with this radio. Maybe that's a bad word. He has to manhandle this thing, and so did I when I packaged it up. This thing's heavy. It's probably 30 plus pounds, so that's how they used to make these radios.
Love it. Love the fact that it's got the original foam, which I have on mine.
Who keeps packaging for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years?
And original packing, so love that. Okay. So looking at it so far, and I may have to stop this video and do a couple of videos, but we're going to see if the receive works based on what I told you minus the switch here, and that always should be in the INT position because that means internal VFO.
So when I did my original video, I didn't know that. Again, there are things about this radio I don't know. So let's hope that my mistake is good news. Give me a second. I've got to change up some video here. I'll be right back. Part of what helped me make my decision to work with Paul was the way in which he communicates with his customers. So far, every time that I've seen a video, I have about 5 or 6 videos from Paul so far. When he starts talking about my radio, it goes right to the back of the radio and shows me my serial number, so I know he's talking about my radio. And he just divulges what it is that he's doing. You want to talk about transparency and helping a customer have some comfort with where the process is, being informed. I'm pretty excited about that. Let's find out when my radio was made.
Anyway, looking at your serial number, your radio was made in 1977. There's your serial number.
1977. That makes my radio 47 years old. I was 15 years old when this radio was manufactured. So this thing has some years and some mileage to it. Again, we're on a journey to bring this thing back to life. And here's the good news. What I showed in my first video, no receive, it does have receive. Listen to this.
Okay, and again, here is your radio, Bob. There's your serial number.
Back to the serial number.
And I do hear speaker hiss, although I see the switches are dirty, very dirty. All this is dirty. It's cutting the receive out. That should always be in the INT position. I'm just trying to see if I hear any signals. And like you had it, I got nothing. Yeah, that's definitely dirty. So, oh, band switch is dirty. Uh-oh, we got sound. We got sound. Band switch is dirty.
I'm more excited than he is, promise you.
That's a good sign.
The meter's not moving.
Receiver's probably low. Probably needs alignment. We know the band switch is dirty. All the switches are probably dirty.
Read that list out of stations that are here available for your
See
call.
nothing on the meter.
We ask each one before station. We put them on the list. We'll read that list out. Then we'll ask the last.
I don't see any meter movement.
The last 2 letters of your call sign. Doesn't matter whether you're stateside or DX. Anybody can make a call. DX stations get to go first, but we take the list of the last 2 letters of the call sign, write them down on the list, and then we call on each station individually to make the calls.
Oh, there we go.
They've heard. So it's a good idea to keep a running list of who's here. Write the call signs down so that when it's your turn to call, you know who's available to be called.
Now
If you
the
don't
meter's
get the
working.
first one you
We
call,
do got
you
receive.
Call for another one, and it's hard to remember all the call signs. We often have many DX stations on board, so you probably want to write them down.
There you go. That's a start.
All right,
So we know where we're at.
We have 6 different.
Okay, that's exciting. So I wasn't the first radio in line. Paul was very helpful just to let me know that I did have received, because remember I had nothing in the first video, so he wanted to at least show me that. There's another radio or two ahead of mine before we have more news to come, but I wanted to share this with you. I'm excited. We have received. It is alive, and hopefully we can transmit as well. That's all for today, friends. Talk to you soon. 73.